is MJ and welcome to another episode of the daily life of motion designer. In previous episodes, we discussed the source text, path options, and how to create and apply text presets. We now dive into more options and animation tools in After Effects. Begin by opening a new composition and writing a sentence. Go to the text properties and select more options. There is an anchor point for the text layer. But here's the cool part. You can base the anchor point on individual characters, words, lines, or even all lines at once. The grouping alignment is used to position the anchor point. Let me adjust that and rotate the text layer. The main rotation affects the entire text layer, not individual characters. Here magic happens when we start working with the animate tools. We will cover these tools in a little further. Next, fill and stroke properties which we learned earlier. You can even change the mode here. This mode impacts how characters blend, rather than the blend entire text layer with the layers below. It applies blending modes to each character individually. Pretty neat, right? Let's close the parameters and check the animator sections. The first part is about transforming properties like position, scale, and rotation. The second part deals with colors. Then there's a tracking and a spacing, followed by characters randomization, and finally blur. When you add property like rotation, you will find it under the animator section. This is where things get interesting. Unlike the standard transform properties which apply to the entire text layer, the properties in animator section work on individual characters. Edit the anchor point from the more options list. Now let's add a scale. Add property scale. By changing this value, you will see each character's scaling up or down independently. Instead, the main scale changed the entire layer. Pretty awesome, right? Now let's take a look at the range selector. The range selector is a super useful tool in Text Animator. It allows you to control which text parts are affected by the animation. The key functions of the range selector are start, end, and offset. Start controls where the animation begins and defines where it stops. Offset shifts the range across the text, and the advanced options we will explore more in the next episodes. Now delete the animator and add all the transform properties to this layer. You can adjust each one to see the effects. You can move characters individually, scale them up or down, skew them, or even change their transparency. Now let's talk about color. Fill color, RGB. It means the main fill color. Hue. This controls the specific color of the text. Hue is measured as an angle on the color wheel, ranging from 0 degrees to 360 degrees. For example, 0 degrees is red, 120 degrees is green, and 240 degrees is blue. Saturation adjusts how vibrant or dull a color is. It refers to the intensity or purity of a color. Brightness changes how light or dark the color appears. Opacity controls how transparent the text is. These properties can be accessed under the fill color as HSB parameters. You will have customizable options for a stroke color and a stroke width if you have enabled a stroke. Delete the animator and add tracking to the text. Tracking controls the spacing between characters, just like in the character panel, but here you can animate it. Tracking type lets you choose how a space is applied, before and after each character, or just before or after. Let's add another line to this text. We also have a line anchor and line spacing, which control how lines of text are positioned relative to each other. Line spacing adjusts the vertical space between lines. Now delete all the parameters and write A Then add character offset and character value. Character offset shifts the characters in the text based on their position in the alphabet or character set. For example, A becomes B if you make offset by 1. Do this for 3, 2, etc. Animate from 0 to 10 in 1 second and check the result. Character value change the actual characters, animating between different letters or symbols. Finally, let's add some blur. Delete the animator, write the text, and add blur. This lets you animate how blurry each character becomes, adding a dynamic out-of-focus effect. Before wrapping up, delete the animator, add all transform, and let me enable per character 3D. This unlocks the third dimension, allowing you to move and rotate individual characters on the X, Y, and Z axis. Now that you understand the basics of the animator tools, you're ready to create some incredible text animations. If you need to add another animator, make sure you deselect everything first, then click the Animate tool above. This will create a separate animator that you can use for things like outro animations. By now, you've learned about the character panel, paragraph panel, text source, pad options, presets, more options, and powerful animator tools. But these are just the basics. In upcoming episodes, I'll share principles for creating a standard typography. Over the years, I've developed some simple motion-based typography principles that I can't wait to share. Thanks for watching. Remember to hit subscribe and tap the bell so you don't miss any upcoming contents. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time on the daily life of a motion designer.